Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, I am Carrie Saunders, Senior Director of Marketing and Strategic Partnerships at the Vacation Group. Today, I'm excited to be joined by our friend Lori Goldspiel, AVP of Key and National Accounts at Azamara Cruises, along with Royal Amati, Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Vacation Group. We're going to spend some time getting to know Azamara a little bit better by asking Lori some of the most common questions that travelers have, from what makes the brand so unique to why so many guests choose to sail with Azamara time and time again. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Royal to get us started.
Thank you, Carrie, and welcome again, everyone. We enjoy putting our vendors into some drill questions, give them some hard questions for you guys, and talk about some of their product, what the cruise line is all about, what did they do good, what did they do best, and what we love about them. With that said, I know Lori for many, many, many years. We're just not business partnership that we have. We also are very good friends, but I would love for you guys to get to know Lori. So I'm going to start with Lori and have her give us a little bit of her background about who she is, where she started, and where she is now. And we're going to start with the questionnaires. Go ahead, Lori.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here and talk to your future guests. I've been in this industry, I hate to date myself, for 41 years. That's a long time. So I started when I was 10, all right? I started my career at Carnival Cruise Line, and I started at the bottom as a reservation agent, and I was there for about 23 years. Then I went over to Royal Caribbean Group, and I started with Azamara Cruises in 2008. So I've been with Azamara Cruises for 18 years, so pretty much since the beginning. And I love this industry, and I love what we do at Azamara Cruises, and I can't wait to talk to you all about what's so special about Azamara.
Absolutely. I remember when Azamara was created back in the days. So yeah, you and I will basically are old in this business. And from what it was and what it is now, it has evolved to one of the luxury cruise lines. And it's such an intimate, and I have to tell you, I love the Azamara experience. I love the way Azamara services their client, and also more than anything else, the Azamazing, right? The extended stays and all the overnights and everything else that Azamara has to offer. But let me, I know about it, Carrie know about it, and obviously you know about it. But for someone who's never heard of Azamara before, okay, can you describe that brand in 1 minute? I can't, but please do.
Thank you. I can. When I meet people, and there's still such a large market that has never cruised before, and people will say whether I'm wearing a logo shirt or I have a backpack and I'm traveling, and I travel all the time, what is Azamara Cruises? I'm like, Azamara Cruises is a boutique hotel at sea, taking you from place to place where you can discover the people and the culture and get immersed in that destination. And only unpack once. 700 guests, 408 crew members that make you feel like you're part of the family. It's amazing and the best value proposition out there. We are the Uncola of cruising. You want to know more, and most people want to know more.
Absolutely. The thing about it is, like you said, Azamara is the boutique hotel at sea versus all the other mainstream cruise lines and everything else. What is the biggest misconceptions that people have about Azamara? And when they go on it, they tend to fall in love with it.
I think a big misperception in the cruise industry is I'm going to be stuck on a boat. They forget to say ship. I'm going to be bored. I'm not going to have enough time. All I'm going to do is eat, and cruising's not for me. That's a misconception. And Azamara is an upmarket. I define it as luxury because everyone's definition of luxury is different. And for me, it's time and it's the connection that I make with people. So what gets people on Azamara Cruises is the itineraries or my favorite travel advisors at the Vacation Group. And what gets people to come back again and again is the amazing team on board where they don't like to say no. So a misconception is boredom. All I'm going to do is eat, and I'm not going to have enough time in port. The mainstream lines leave at 4 or 5 o'clock, and even some luxury lines leave early, and we stay late. So we're the ones that are usually the first ones in and the last one to leave.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it perfectly. It's the boutique hotel at sea, right? You wake up every morning and you're in a different place. But in Azamara, you don't have to rush back in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon because Azamara has so many different destinations. On every itinerary, you might have one or two destinations that you have an overnight. So again, if you want to just stay the night at the place that you are, in the city that you are, you want to have a dinner, etc. You don't have to rush back in at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and hop on a ship. And believe it or not, I totally agree about, misconception of people about thinking about eating. Believe it or not, I actually lose weight, okay, when I'm on the ship because there's so many activities, so many things to do, so many places to see that really food becomes like you just eat and go, right? Because there's just so many things to do. So I definitely agree with you with that. If someone who cruised let's say like a big mainstream cruise line, what does it surprise them about Azamara ship?
So when you think about cruising on a big ship, and I have to be honest with you, Royal, I don't want to take a vacation on a big ship. That's not for me any longer. So as you mature in cruising and travel, many want smaller, more intimate, more experience and all of that. I think the big surprise is if you left something in your stateroom, wow, it's a quick walk to go back to your stateroom and get it. The service level, it's country club casual. There's no casino on board. The reason why we don't have a casino is because we spend so much time in port. So we use that space. Years ago, we got rid of the casinos and we use that as a lounge. So it's an intimate ship spending so much time in port where then you're welcomed home and there's still so much to do on board. And you're not nickeled and dimed. So it will cost you less to go on Azamara by the time you pay your bill when you're getting off a larger mass market cruise line.
Absolutely. To me, again, just being out in the destination, I mean, technically that's what you're paying for, correct? When you're looking to go on a vacation, you're looking at a destination, right? You're not looking at per se on, what ship, right? You want to go see these places, and being Azamara giving you that opportunity to not just to see a snapshot of it of 3, 4, 5 hours, you know what I mean? But actually the whole entire day, it just makes such a difference. So with that said, we kind of touched on it, but I want you to explain to our audience. You guys have a famous word, destination immersion. Okay. Explain that and also tell us about, again, we touched on it, but I want you to elaborate a little bit more from your side about why we have the late departure, why do you have the overnight stay, and what is truly sets Azamara apart from all the other competitors.
I love how you position that because I just got back from a 15-day Greece intensive itinerary on Azamara, and I traveled with 12 other guests. And we call it destination days, where you will have over 10 hours in a port with the opportunity to explore. I have to plan my day every day, so I only planned on this 15-day vacation 3 actual planned group excursions. So for me, and you talk about losing weight, I lost a pound and I eat a lot because I love Greek food. I love the food on board. I love the food in the destination. But we went out every day and walked between 10 and 25,000 steps a day. So whatever you want to do, there's something for everyone. And most of my friends that I traveled with, they never cruised before and they fell in love with this hotel at sea where you could go out, you could explore, you could have lunch out, you can come back in the evening, take a little rest and go back out again to explore. And to be able to go back out in the evening where there's no other ships there. And Royal, something that we did that was really cool. Santorini is a marquee port. Everybody goes there. We had an itinerary change. And my friends were like, Lori, why did the itinerary change? I said, we did it. Special for you, a little surprise and delight. Because today there's only one other cruise ship in port. And tomorrow when we were supposed to go to Santorini, there's 5. We do not want to be there when the ports are crowded. Azamara specializes in unique ports. We go where the big ships cannot, and we will ensure we will go there when it's not crowded.
Well, thank you very much, Lori. I mean, absolutely. Like we reiterating the same exact thing about what Azamara is. And believe it or not, I think Azamara's itinerary, the destination that they put in, and just the style of the ship, the crew member, like you said, they just don't know how to say no. And that's what I love about it. You actually experience it. And that's how people fall in love with Azamara and they want to come back because you guys have one of the most loyal client and return clients year over year. So kudos to you guys and everything that you guys are doing. Just keep up the great work because it's working. So, Lori, what's something about Azamara that even experienced cruisers often don't know? And give me a secret place on the ship. Let's just say Pursuit. Okay. One of my favorite ones that we have to make sure our clients, when they are on Pursuit, make sure to visit.
That's a good one. So I get really busy when I'm
questions.
Oh, you ask great questions. So I was just on board and I would forget to read the insider that lists all the different activities, whether you want yoga or you want to experience a barbecue out on deck or you want to experience the jazz brunch that's happening. So one area, because there's so many options for entertainment, cocktails, music, and we keep adding more and more, is I love the den area because that's where the piano player is. You can have a cocktail, meet with friends. I love that area. And one other area, because I have a few favorites. If you're in a suite, you get access to the thalassotherapy pool area, which is the front part of the ship outside the gym. It's private. It's relaxed. If you're not in a suite, you pay a $75 fee and you get to lounge all day if you have a day at sea. On my voyage, Royal, I did not have one day at sea and I missed that.
Oh, wow. And I honestly, thank you for telling me because the last time I was on it, I didn't know I could pay the $75. How would I find out about that?
It's in the insider. And also when you go up to the spa, you will see how you can have access.
Okay. So you were talking about the piano, you're talking about the favorite cocktail and all of that. So tell me, what is the favorite cocktail of yours on Azamara?
Oh, Royal, I have a few, but one of my favorites, because, we include so much. So we include beer, wine, and standard spirits. So most of the time I'm not buying a beverage package and things like that because we will serve 3 different choices of white wine, red wine, a sparkling wine. But I love a good smoky old fashioned, and the way they make it and present it is just over the top amazing.
Yes, I have to agree with you on that. They do an amazing job. So now we know about the cocktail. We know about the insider. We know about the spa and the pool in front of the ship. We know about $75 fee if you're not in a suite that you could just pay and you could take advantage of that. So now tell me, for a first timer Azamara cruiser, what tip, except those, what other tips can you give them that they could actually benefit from?
Okay, that's a great question because I sailed with about 8 people that never cruised before. And it is so important to work with your travel advisor at the vacation group because everybody's needs is different. So I had people that were on a budget and they might have been in an inside cabin. I had people in an ocean view cabin. I had people in a veranda. And I always say you need a balcony. And one secret tip, buy the Experience More package. That package gives you an upgraded beverage where you'll get the premium beverage included if you care about what you're drinking. Otherwise, it's standard. You'll get the internet. You will get laundry. You will get a shore excursion credit and you will get a spa credit. So 2 couples that I sailed with, they bought that and they loved it. They did the excursions. They did the spa. My favorite thing is the spa. I would say you need to do that. Add that.
Absolutely. I mean, I look at it as nowadays you can't be without internet anywhere. And when you're looking at the packages that you have, when you put everything together, honestly, the value of it is well worth it. People look to overlook that, right? And then when they're on the ship, they're always kind of like, I should have got that. I should have had that package. I should have had this. I should have had that. Because again, that's the nature of the human. That's what we do. It's like, no, we don't want it. But then when you're there, oh my God, I should have had this stuff. So yeah, no, I totally understand. And definitely, I'm a type of person that get all of those right in the beginning because I know I need them and I know I will use them. So definitely, if I could get a savings and a discount on all of those shore excursions, the laundry and all of that, the value aspect of it is definitely worth purchasing it upfront as well.
And you know what, Royal, I forgot to mention, because always Azamara, we include the beer, the wine, the spirits, the specialty coffees, the bottled water. We include self-serve laundry, and we include shuttle service in port when it's available. So if you're not right in the city center, we'll include a shuttle. It was so cool. I was docked in a port in Chios, Greece, and we were right on the street. I'm like walking to a store where I was buying some cosmetics, and I'm like, oh my God, my ship is right there. It was so cool.
Instead of being a miles away or hours away, because some of the big ships, they just can't get into those smaller ports, right? So with that, tell me about that. Is there destinations, like you just basically said on Azamara, because it's a smaller ship, could get into those cities, those towns that the big ships can't get to? And that is the difference of it, right?
So I've been on 3 Azamara cruises so far this year, which is pretty cool. I feel a little bit spoiled. And I've always heard about us sailing right up the river. So I was on a cruise through the Canary Islands and Seville. And I was up in the bridge with the captain, and we sailed right up the Guadalquivir River. And I was able to see us go through the locks. It was a wow experience. And then we had 2 nights in port. And that was like over the moon amazing. I could have had 4 nights in Seville, but to have 2 nights was amazing. One night we did the Amazing evening. I got back at 10 o'clock, then went out to dinner. The next day, explored all day long, came back, took a little rest, and went back out in the evening for dinner. And those are the things that I like to do.
Perfect. Perfect. When we're talking about destination, and you have been on, obviously, so many of those Azamara cruises. So tell me your personal view, what you think that one of these itineraries or one of these ports that needs to get more attention than it doesn't, and you want to recommend it to all of our clients.
That's a great question. I'm going to give you 2. Croatia. Croatia, I sailed a couple of years ago, and I didn't really know a lot about Croatia. Croatia is amazing. The people, the beaches, the shopping, the food, the value is amazing. And people know Dubrovnik, but they don't know the other cool small little ports and the villages that you get to go to. So I would say Croatia for sure. And we focus on country intensive itineraries. And I'm just going to share Greece again. I've been to Greece 9 times, but doing Greece on Azamara is different. You go to ports that other cruise lines don't go to. On this 10-night itinerary, new for us was Paros and Patmos, and it was just fantastic. I went to another side of the island and Crete and did something so different. So work with your travel advisor, research what you're going to be doing in these ports. But I would say Croatia, Greece is popular, but if you've done it before, you could do it over and over again on Azamara. And we sail at all 7 continents, which is really cool too.
Absolutely. If someone that could only sail on Azamara one time in their lifetime, what itinerary would you recommend? And it cannot be Greece, because we already know you love Greece. So that's already taken. Give me another one. I can't be Croatia either.
Oh my God. You know what I'm going to say to that? Do a world cruise on Azamara. We started world cruises in 2024 and they're so popular. And you know what? It's not only older people going. By the way, I said how long I've been in this industry. So people in their 50s and 60s are doing world cruises.
Yes.
And if you want to work remotely, you can do that. We have the internet.
Perfect. That would be in a few years when we all retire. Maybe we could do that. How's that? What experience on board make us say, this is why we book Azamara?
That's a tough question because I really feel there are so many experiences. Azamara Cruises are ships. We've got 4 of them and they're identical. But we are always listening to our travel advisors and our loyal guests on things that we could be doing differently. So about a year ago, we stepped it up. We have more food experiences. Our food is fantastic. We do a destination immersion culinary experience now on every voyage. So all of a sudden you'll look out at the pool deck and we're setting it up with local music and local foods. That's just fantastic for me. And bringing in that local entertainment, I think is very cool.
You're absolutely right. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize, the amount of work behind the scene that happens. So what's something that crew does behind the scene that the guests never realize it, but you know what? It make their life, their experience so much better and so much memorable.
They know our guests and they will know your name by day 2. So when I go to the coffee shop, they will know Miss Lori. I have a skinny latte with 2 Splendors. They will remember things like that. Royal, if you sailed a couple of years ago and you like a certain drink or you don't want walnuts in the mix of nuts, they're going to be like, Sir Royal, here's your nuts today. They remember those things.
I love that. I love that. Is there anything exciting coming to Azamara that the travelers should have to keep their eyes on, like a little insider?
So we just opened up our 2028 itineraries. Soon we're going to be opening up 2029. And on the horizon is a revitalization of all of our ships. And when I say that, I just want you all to know our ships are beautiful. It's like going to a boutique older hotel. They're clean and they're old world elegance and you feel like you're at home. But the Azamara Forward, which I know my CEO, Dondra, is going to be talking about soon on an interview with you, is really exciting. We're spending about $80 million on the entire fleet.
So you think that I'm giving you a hard questions. Wait till I get Dondra.
I love these questions.
So Lori, where do you see the future of premium cruising, luxury cruising heading over the next few years?
That's a good question. I look at how many ships are coming out. There's so many ships. And our job is to ensure that we put the right client on the right product. And when you're looking at working with your travel advisor, I'm answering this a little bit differently. They're like a doctor to you, describing and prescribing the right vacation for you to exceed your expectations. The future is so bright for all of us with the new capacity coming in because we need to get more land people on cruising. And you could do a segment of a cruise and also do FIT land with that. So it's blowing up right now. The demand is high, but I would tell you book early. You want to book early to get the best staterooms and the best pricing.
Well, thank you very much, Lori, with that. I think I drilled you enough. Like I said right in the beginning, Lori and I not just have a business relationship, we're actually very good friends. Thank you very much for being here and talking about Azamara. With that, I'm going to turn it to Carrie because she's going to ask you some easier questions that I do. Go ahead, Carrie.
All right. Lori, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Oh my God, am I ready?
Okay. These are super easy. So here we go. Favorite Azamara ship?
I love all my children. They're
Well,
all pretty much
you love every one of them differently, right? But it's the same.
It's so funny that could be like, who's your favorite captain? I love them all. You have the same experience pretty much on all of them since they're identical. And I can't say I have a favorite.
Okay. I think we probably know the answer to this one, but favorite port?
Ooh. You guys think I'm going to say Greece, and it's not Greece. I love Italy.
Yeah.
Sorrento, an overnight in Sorrento, a double overnight in Livorno. You can do that on Azamara.
Yeah.
I just love to travel.
I love Italy.
I would agree with that. Favorite onboard meal?
Ooh. I love the ribeye in Prime Sea, which is our steak and seafood restaurant. But I also have to tell you, I love our truffle pasta that we'll make in Windows in Croatia.
Oh, yeah. That Sounds delicious. Best sunset destination.
The typical answer is Santorini,
Right. That's what I was about
right?
to say. Right.
The typical answer is in Santorini, but on this, but Santorini has one of the best sunsets, so I have to stick with that.
Okay. Are you a sunset or a sunrise girl?
Ooh, I love to see the sun rise, but I don't know if I want to get out of bed for the sun rising. I like the sunset, and I like to see like the pink and the green and all that.
Me too. Well, this kind of answers this question then. Early excursion or late night exploring?
I want to do a combination. And the reason being is I don't want to have to get up every morning really early. So I want a combination, especially on my vacation.
One destination that everyone should visit at least once.
Italy.
Agreed.
The people, the food, the value. And you want to go back again, again, and again. But you could do Italy, Greece, and Spain all on one voyage with Azamara.
Yes, you can.
That's true.
One word that best describes Azamara.
Best vacation experience at sea. Oh, that was more than one word.
That's amazing.
Well,
That's amazing.
well, perfect. Lori, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. And everyone, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, we wish you well.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.